As you can probably see, we've got this Garner, the original Garner 110 back in. We've got the parts, we've got a cylinder head, an AMC cylinder head, we've got a Garrett turbo, and we're also going to put a timing kit on. Now, I don't know what we're going to find, and it's going to be a big job. So I'm going to do them all at once. The easiest way to do this is I'm firstly going to take out the radiator, the front panel, and all the gubbins at the front that's in there. Why? Well, the intercooler's full of oil. That's for a start. So I've got to wash it out in the ultrasonic. Secondly, it makes access to do the timing belt a lot easier. We're going to do the P gasket, we're going to do everything. Now, am I going to film it all? I don't know, we've done this 2 or 3 times and I don't want to be repetitious of doing the same thing, so I think what I'll do is I'll stop the camera when I find some interesting faults. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to balance the engine on the pistons. I'm going to put them all at horizontal halfway down the bore, and I'm going to put some diesel into the piston, into the cylinder, should I say, it's a bit early yet, and see if there's any leakage. I don't know. And we don't know what the cylinders are like. It could actually knock the job on the head, I don't know. But let's get these jobs done first. Now, order of priority is not to get wet and oily under the car. So the first things first is we're going to undo the exhaust pipe flanges, the 3 bolts that hold the exhaust pipe on, because we've got to get that out of the way. And then after that we can sort of drain the coolant off. I didn't change the oil in this last time. I topped it up, but I didn't change it. The reason for that was because we knew we had to do a job on this engine. So by putting diesel in the bore, if I go back, it doesn't really matter because I'm going to change it out anyway. So let's see how that goes. Yeah, so let's get on with it. I've got the bonnet lifted up, the battery's disconnected. Let's get to it. So I thought I'd give you a Stardate update. 2 hours in, and what have I achieved? I've got the front off. What a pig's mess that was. This has had air conditioning fitted to it before, and they only wanted it taking it out because it wasn't in the dash, it was a waste of time. Everything was rusted up solid. So, and of course the winch got in the way a bit, and I didn't really want to take that off. So, but you can see how easy it is to work. You can see how easy it is to work on the engine now. But one of the biggest problems was this. See the fan? Our lads in Africa had welded a bracket on, because this viscous fan's shot. So what they've done is they've welded a bracket on here and on here. Well, a lot of you will know is that with a stick welder you can get in an awful lot of places that you can't get in with a MIG welder. And what they've done is they'd made a bracket on here. The one good side about this was the Africans can't weld for shit. So with an air I managed to get this bolt out with an air chisel. I managed to chisel this off and get access to the nut, because the way they put it on, you couldn't get a spanner on here onto the nut, right? But I have also, that's a nice fitting spanner. I made that one because I see a lot of crap like this. But I also made this one, and I've got it in another video. I'll probably, if I remember, I'll put a link at the top. But this goes in here like that, hopefully, and holds those bolts in place. And then you can go and just crack them off. Easy, isn't it? So you should make one of them. Yeah. I know it looks a bit odd, but there is a reason for it, because it has to be long and thin to get down between the fan and the radiator cowling. Well, not the radiator, but the fan and the back pulley. You can't just make a little piece here. So the next job, vitally important, is a cup of tea, because I'm parched, not perched. I've got the fluid drained out of the coolant, but you'll see there's method in my madness to do the next stage, because the next stage is to get these pulleys off, because we're going to do the timing belt, and by taking off the oil pump and moving it out of the way, because we're not going to drain the power steering at all, I can put my hand in and then quite easily get to that 13mm bolt to drain the block, because it's really important to drop the fluid level on this as much as possible. Because you see, if you take the top, like the bottom hose goes up here, so the coolant level's still up to here. So if you think you take the radiator out and you're going to take the head off, forget it. You're still going to get water down the cylinders. So hopefully, it's 11 o'clock now, hopefully I don't find any more bolts. I'll be able to get that off this morning. Yeah, it's one of them jobs that's a simple job, but it's spoilt by Africans. Don't buy anything out of Africa. Right, so back again. What did we find out? Well, I've got the housing off for the water pump and things like that, because I wanted to change the P gasket. Good call. Paper gasket. Oh. No good. The pulley is stuck tight onto the crank, which isn't the end of the world, because what we're going to do now is use this puller, which is in your timing kit, and we're going to pull off the pulley. But first of all, I'm going to tap out the holes. There's 4 holes, 8mm holes, to put these long bolts in, because the last thing we want to do is strip them out. So let me tap them out. See, these are all things that take up timing. So what we're going to do is tap them out, put the puller on. The bolt came out quite easy, you know, with the air gun. That wasn't a big deal. But yeah, by taking off this cover, we can do several things at once, because we can get to the hoses for the bottom, for the turbo. So we're going to take the dipstick pipe out, get rid of that, then we've got good access to get to that big nut underneath the turbo, and also the pipe that goes for the oil feed, so we can get really loads of stuff done, you know what I mean, at the same time. It's just that we get a few little glitches. So then we can take, you know, we just put the tools lightly on the top of the wings there, you know, bits and pieces, but then when we're leaning over to do the head and things like that, then we'll put the wing covers on. It's just because I've been using them for another job, I've only got one set. So let's tap those out and see if this is going to come off. So I've got the tool set up. See if it comes out. Not too bad. Not too bad. Now this is the problem. Because the bolts are too long and they hit on the shield at the back. So, but it doesn't really matter. You should be able to just pull off, and the little spacer thing falls in the bottom of the oil. So that's off. We'll get that, retrieve that bolt later. Now we can pull the cover off. Do you want to see it live? Do you want to see what it's like? I do. Let's whiz it off with a gun. You shouldn't do this. You should do them by hand, but that can't be bothered. Well, the good thing is they're all nice and clean. What's holding this on? Oops, what was that fella? Well, not too bad, but the oil seal came off the the bearing here. The belt isn't too badly worn. Yeah, not too badly worn. In fact, it's not bad at all. At least it's got the later belt on, so that's good. So that's not too bad. And I haven't got new pulleys for it though. Yes, I have. I've got new pulleys. I tell a lie. I've got new pulleys. I've got a full kit for it. Let's have another look at this inside casing. You can see where there's been a bit of dust kicked up here. Not too bad though. You know, that's off the belt. And you can. It's nice to see when it comes off real time, isn't it? So that's that done. Now I'm not going to touch that. I'm going to keep that timing belt on as it is, because I need to rotate the engine when I do the pistons and things like that. So I'll leave that till last, and I'll put the belt on later. What an exciting life, eh? Right, back in a bit. Right, Stardate update. What have we found out so far? Well, I've got the manifold off. I am not going to take apart that turbo. The owner wants the old parts back. No problem, he can take it apart and find out what's wrong with it. I haven't got time for that. Alright, but what I will show you is this. Look at the oil feed return. Look at that pipe. Look at it, it's all twisted. Bloody hell. That's not good, is it? It needs a new one of those for sure. Because it's braided and it's like PVC piping, or no, Teflon tubing inside, and it's all knackered, so that's knackered. What else is knackered? You decide. Knackered. One. We've done the viscous fan, that's knackered. When the engine must have had some power, the gasket's blown. They always break here. Why they couldn't have made them a bit thicker, I don't know. Why they couldn't have made them a bit better material. This one here is about to go, and you can see, actually you can see somebody's put silicone on here, look. You see that bit? Put silicone on it. Kaput. Now, remember, this car's come up the darkest Africa. They don't use antifreeze, do they? And I'm going to show you why. Where is it? This is the return tube from the heater. Look at that. I wonder what that head's like. Look at that. That's knackered. And the other end might as well not be on. You know the word. Also, look at this. See how the corrosion's eaten under here? We might be able to salvage it, but I'm going to take the pump off. Pump sounds not very good, does it? No, pump's shot and all, isn't it? In fact, I think I'll do another video and say the bits we're going to keep. Yeah, because we've done one of these before. If you remember the African Queen, the casting was all eaten up. Now fortunately under here this face is good. Now I was going to say, if this face is pitted, it's advisable to TIG weld it up again and then remachine it rather than machine it back, because what it'll do, if you machine that face back, it will step back this, I mean that's an exaggeration really, but it'll step back this pulley, and of course the V-belt, the multi-notch V-belt, whatever they're called, I can't remember off the top of my head, a serpentine belt, I think that's what it's called, will be out of line, and it doesn't need much. A few thousandths of an inch, or what's that in feet and inches, I don't know. Well, I don't know, what's it in millimetres? A yard. Anyway, what else have we got to keep? Nothing much to report really. I just wanted to show you a few special spanners while I was at it. This bad boy was just an old Mastercraft 7/8. We don't use 7/8 all that much. But what I did was I bent it at this angle. You see, that's the angle. And I ground it out to fit the nut on the bottom of the turbo return pipe. Because then you can get this in. Because you know, boys and girls, you cannot get a spanner into that when it's in the car, but now you can just get it in and do it like that. So there's a good tool to make. To get the manifold off and get the turbo off, this is the tool I use. You can use generally all sorts of tools, but these are my favourites. My favourite things, like Mary Poppins. This is a 15mm 3/8 drive, but you can see it's a very thin wall. I know it's a silver one, it should be black impact, but they're no good. And that gets the manifold bolts off from underneath the flange, and also the ones that go onto the head. And by the way, there was a stud missing right in the middle of the head. Apart from that, there's not many all that many special spanners needed so far. So the next thing, let's have a look inside the rocker box. Get all that lot off. We should have the end. We should have the head off today, and then I'll be able to lay the engine level, put some diesel in it, and see if the rings go down. I hope the rings are okay. I hope the bores are okay, because you know we're only halfway from taking up bloody engine out. You know, there's not much more to take out really. Engine mounts and a few pipes, and might as well take the bloody thing out. Right, back in a bit. You've heard me say before, it's not often I'm wrong, but this time I'm right. What a good call taking this head off. Maybe we could get the glow plugs out from by taking the head off, but it's scrap. Yeah. Now I'm just sort of wondering what the rest of this bloody motor is like. Oh dear me. Why? Because they've never used anti-corrosion in this cooling system. Always use antifreeze. Don't just put water in it, because I'm going to show you why. I am. So here's the head off. Will the glow plugs come out? They might do. But I'm not concerned about that. Look at this. Look at that. Whoa! Right on the edge of the gasket. We just caught that in time. Look at the corrosion in here. Can you see? Whoa! Now let's take this light off if we can. But enough of looking at that. Wait a minute. Here. Look at it in there. Can you see? Look at it. It's all rotted out. That's what you get. Go in here. Not so much here because there's less water circulation at the back of the head, but look at this here, all corroded. Yeah, good call. I bet you when we take this core, take the core plugs out, I'm not going to bother with this head, but it was a really good call, yet again. The owner wants it back. I don't know what he wants it back for because it's toast, but we'll give him it. And yeah, so even if we could get the glow plugs out, it's knackered. Use antifreeze, use coolant with anti-corrosive properties. Right, so what time is it now? Oh, what time is it? About 3 o'clock. I think it's time to put some diesel in these cylinders and see what it's like. I'm also going to have a look at, I'm going to measure properly the distance for this head gasket because we need more parts, that's for sure. So we might as well see what else we need, because this isn't going to be a weekend job, that's for sure. Oh, and I've got opportunity also to put a block heater in here. That's if we can afford it after paying for all these bits. I'm going to check out also all these little tappets, make sure they're all alright. Yeah. And somebody asked me, can you get the tappets out without taking the head off? And the answer is basically no. Because you see this one here, for example, you can't get it out, and the one at the end you can't get out. Well, it's not really worth it. Take the head off. What's a head gasket? A couple of quid. Yeah, so that's that. So what we're going to do is turn the engine over so all the pistons are level, and we're going to put 1 cupful of diesel in each cylinder, and we're going to leave it. That's it. Clean up the bits, get the ultrasonic powered up, and then we can start building things up. Now, like I say, it was a good call for the timing belt. I've got all the new bits and pieces for it, so that's alright. But we can, like I say, on this job we can do several things at once. But now the main thing is, are these rings any good? we'll see. Right, here we go. I've just got some diesel. Why am I using diesel, not petrol? Because petrol's a bit volatile. And I've got the official Tim Hortons measuring cup from local Tim Hortons, and these will be in the shop at $9.99 each. What I'm going to do is fill it up to the top of the maple leaf here, each one, and it's 2:05, judging by the old Omega chronograph. So let's get that filled up to there. Now this, because like I say, we're going to drain the oil off anyway, and we're going to get a lot of muck and dust, muck and rubbish into the crankcases, so we'll just wash it out. Does two things, eh? So here we go. That is just perfect. This will give us a rough idea of how the rings are. Maybe put a bit more in that one. Get that bit out there. Oh, I'm a bit short on the first one. Wait a minute, I'll put a bit more in. There we go. They're almost even, but let's go and get a cup of tea and see how they go. Now, if it's not too bad, I'll just take the diesel out the bores and that's it. But it's just a nice little test. It might loosen up the rings, I don't know if there's any carbon in there, but yeah, like I say, we'll come back and we'll see what it's like. Yeah, 2:05. So, I've been out for an hour and looking at the old watch there, it's the old Omega is just 7 minutes past 3. So I thought, as a bit of fun, we'll walk in together and have a look at how much has gone down in the cylinders. Now, this isn't bullshit, right? So let's have a look. I haven't been in yet. Excuse me. Let's have a look. Ooh, there you go, number 3's down. It has gone down though, look. Number 3's almost gone. Is it a good test? I don't know, but these front two are holding quite well. And the back one's not too bad, but number 3's a bit, I don't know. Maybe it's alright, maybe not. Anyway, so I'm just going to come back to this, but now I've got a hell of a lot of cleaning to do. Mind you, it's not point cleaning that. I'm not sure about this. I'll take the water pump off and let's have a look at that. No point cleaning that. And this thing here, I don't know what the hell to do with this. It's not too bad inside, but the pipe here is corroded. Look at that. Oh man, look at that, that's bad. And look at this here. I think I might just dry this out and put it in the sandblaster. It's all corroded in there too. But of course you can't buy just one bit, you have to buy the bloody lot. Oh, that little hose there, look at that one. If anybody knows what sort of an acid wash I could use to clean this block out, let me know. I was even thinking, well, somebody's bound to say vinegar. Oh, use vinegar, mate. Yes, but we haven't got 2 years to do it. I was thinking about making some sort of a device to wash this out. Like on the old head gasket, put the old head gasket back on and put the head on, the old head. Make some sort of a fastening for here with, and a recirculation pump coming out of the drain up to here. I don't know, maybe it's a stupid idea. I wonder what would take that rust out. Mind you, I could make a blanking plate for there as well and just fill it full of sort of acid. Oh, I wonder if muriatic acid would take it out. That would be fun, wouldn't it? We'd have lots of burns then. Because you see, now we're into cast iron. There's no aluminium in there. But just thinking out loud there, as I do, I wonder what those core plugs are like. You know, Americans call them frost plugs because I think the frost pops them out. I wonder what's behind them. I wonder if it's worth changing them. Now's the time, isn't it? Now's the time to change them. Because you see, frost plugs, oh God, now you've got me saying it now, core plugs look quite innocent until you take them out. It might be just a wise thing. I'll have to see if I've got some. If I haven't got any, well, job's knackered again, isn't it? Well, carry on, eh? Oh well, that's what we do. Right, back in a bit because I'm going to do some cleaning. So for the rest of the day, what is it now? 3:05. And the rest of the day I'll be cleaning up all these parts in the ultrasonic and getting them ready to put back together. I'm not sat drinking tea all day. Alright, so this will do for this assembly, for this section. I'm going to post this so the owner can see it, so he knows I'm not bullshitting. And then we've got all, there's all the bits we've got to clean up. That's the, wait a minute, I'll just put them all down here on the floor. This is the bloody pipes there, got to be washed out. Calvin, this was the AC fan. I had a hell of a job trying to get that out. That's seized solid. Well, no, tell him that it's not seized solid. It's just seized. Yeah. Oh, I'll have to see what this pulley's like on here as well. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. I think we'll change that bearing as well. Got a lot to do, boys. See you later. Again, no bullshitology here. Look at the time. What was it since we last talked? 7 minutes past 3? There she's gone. Look at that, eh? She's gone. Yeah. I wonder how long it'll take the rest of them. The rest are quite even, look. It's just this one. So, was this the cause of the crankcase fuming? You know, the smoke? I don't know. Probably. If it's rings to change in this, I'm taking the engine out. I'm taking the bloody engine out and putting it on the stand to turn it upside down. Because, I don't know, I'll have to ask the owner what he wants to do. But, to mess about doing that, taking the oil pan off and fannying about taking rings out and stuff under the car, it's a mucky, filthy job, as many of you know, especially Rob. Rob will know all about this. If you want to ask him a question, Rob will know. No, just joking, Rob. Yeah, because then we can check the clutch, can't we? Oh, see, look at this, it's like Pandora's box, isn't it? But I think, again, on good call sessions, that was wise to put diesel in there, because we would have never known, because we couldn't do a compression test on this engine to see what it was like. But now we know that there's something wrong with that cylinder. Just before I go, I quickly put this through the sandblaster to see what it would like through the blasting cabinet. We could replace that piece, but this is quite pitted round here. It's all pitted. But what you can't see is inside this corner down here. It's almost wafer thin. I wish you could get the camera in, but when you feel it here, it's all pitted. How do I know it's pitted? Because it looks like that. You see how pitted that is? I'm going to put another one on. I'm not going to mess about with that. That's an accident waiting to happen. Even if we had new coolant in that, I wouldn't even trust that as far as I could throw it. So you've got to be observant. Next. You know, water pump. Water pump. No coolant. Steel impeller. Not good. The borderline decision is this thing here. What to do with this? It's very thin. See what I mean? And pitted just at the bottom. And it's, you see, I'm saying you can see how it goes on the inside of here, look. You see it's all pitted. Fortunately it's alright in these bits. Oh, I forgot to do that bit. I forgot to have a look at that. Now I'm not sure if that's a screw-in piece or a push-in piece. I'm not sure of that bit. Is there any threads in it? I can't see. But it's not too bad. I think we could salvage that. But there again, if I could find another one, it'd be better. But I haven't got any. Put the last one on the African Queen. Oh well. Anyway, so I hope you like that. That was just a sort of a rundown and a breakdown for the customer. Well, he'll probably have a breakdown once he gets the bill. And yeah, we'll see you later. The diesel in number 4's catching up, but now it's 3:30. So, like I say, I'm going to get on with cleaning for the rest of the day. Well, doesn't seem to be much to clean up now, does there? We'll see what we can come up to. We'll see you in the next video, and hopefully we're putting something together.